All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol OCGN, Ocugen Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we dive into this chart, I do want every single investor to be aware that I have two ticker symbols to briefly discuss towards the end of this video. We're going to look at their financials, we're going to look at their earnings, we're going to look at the potential and why the sector they're in has so much growth potential moving forward, and we're going to look at their charts and how they've reacted since we've talked about them. So stay tuned for that, and I want every single investor to not overlook these and pay close attention to these moving forward. Okay, I'm not here to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold any positions on any of these stocks that I ever discussed, but I am here to enlighten everyone on opportunities that the market is showing us and stocks to do more research on, and you guys as investors can make your own rational decisions based off of your due diligence. So let's dive in here into Ocugen Inc. Ocugen Inc. had a big downward trend. It was actually hurting a lot of investors, and I completely understand why investors would feel this way. A lot of fear kicked in and a lot of uncertainty, and that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of investors were getting in up on the way up at like $6, $5, $7, and then they started getting in again at 11, 12, 13 because some people took profits from way down here, or even from here to here. And then they're like, okay, let me dive back in with a position. It hit new highs. They're like, okay, I can hold. We're going to get through this. It's going to go higher. Then offering appeared, and then uncertainty, and then fear kicked in. Okay, the offering was so low that we were bound to come close to these numbers, and specifically down here that I talked about, 814, 816, 815 up to 820. I mean, I stated all those numbers down here, but we didn't have to worry about it unless we got real close to it. Now, the closest we reached to it was today in the morning, and that was 891. Pretty close, but not all the way. So the reason why is because the offering share price was pretty low. It was below $8 actually. I think it was $7.65 if I'm not mistaken. I talked about it in one of the videos when I updated everyone on information on the offering. So if anybody wants to challenge that or correct me on that, I'd appreciate it very much, but I believe it was $7.65. The good thing is we didn't see those numbers. The offering ended. As soon as the offering ended, we took off, we hit new highs, and we dipped right back down. So why would a stock run up like this and fall down like this? Well, there's a lot of investors that are on the way down or even from down here saying, I'm out. And that's what you see here. So let me go ahead and emphasize this. This area, even this area, and this area, anybody that got in before that, right, are the ones that said, I'm out. So that's why when this ran up, you saw this go down. Because a lot of investors are taking their slight profit. They already got scared because of all this uncertainty. And then a lot of investors are now realizing, oh my gosh, Ocugen does not have FDA approval. Like, a lot of investors were unaware of that. And the ones that were, they didn't think it was a big deal. Like, they were like, well, the potential's there. It'll consolidate somewhere higher. And then once it consolidates, FDA approval, we're going to see beyond $20, maybe $30, $50, which is all possible. But investors did not expect this offering and this type of downward spiral. They were willing to take the risk because they saw how this shot up, and they were hoping for consolidation somewhere higher beyond these numbers, right? Almost as if, okay, it hit $18, comes back down to around 16, consolidates fighting between 15, right? High 15s, low 16s, and then the next catalyst takes us to 20 beyond, right? So that's a good way to plan it out or see it. But a lot of investors after this are actually kind of hesitant now to even stay in Ocugen, especially after this, wild upward experience and wild downward experience. I mean, it's been a roller coaster for some, for real. So I completely understand a lot of investors' perspective. And until this cools off, that investors that don't feel comfortable staying in Ocugen actually get out, we're going to continue to see spikes like this go down, spikes like that go down, just like we saw here, because these are investors that got in before taking their slight profits, or anyone that got in slightly above it and cutting their losses or breaking even, right? Breaking even within this area. So it's going to be a little bit hard here for Ocugen to push upwards for now. What we really want to look for big time is consolidation. We don't want no wild up and down movement right now. What we want is consolidation. For the investors that are long and believe in this product, even though they're taking the risk because there's no FDA approval just yet, you want consolidation. Okay? That's probably the healthiest thing. We don't want big upward trend, big downward trend. That's not what this ticker symbol needs right now. What it needs is consolidation. So that's what we want to look for moving forward. And also, we're going to see some slight spikes and then pull downs pretty fast. It won't be because the ticker symbol is terrible or that there's no FDA approval and this is terrible. It's just investors that are uncertain or feel more comfortable taking their money elsewhere is trying to actually get out of this play. They were very hopeful when things look like this, but when things turn like this, it actually makes people think different about a stock, and that's fine. You always want to know why you're in a stock and what's the risk tolerance that you're willing to handle with the stock going bad. I've talked about it since way back here. Back here, I used to say if FDA approval does not happen, just know that from 173 or from $2 or even 3 or 4, this can go downward, straight down as quick as it came up. Same thing here now, because we're still waiting on that process. But Ocugen and a lot of institutional investors are now jumping in on this. There's a high chance of FDA approval. I'm not guaranteeing it, but it only makes sense. I don't think institutional investors would be, taking this direct offering if they don't see potential. That's what I find interesting about this. And then Ocugen is taking advantage of the opportunity to maximize and get some cash on hand for any innovations that they're trying to do. So let's go ahead and see here. 1076 is where we're at. 1050 gets broken through. Your next support level is down here at the lowest point, basically 891, 892, give or take. So this is very important moving forward. That's the bottom so far after this offering, and we want to stay above that and consolidate anywhere above that. That would be pretty healthy sign for the most part on how Ocugen's reacting after this whole entire downward trend, and that it's holding up its price till the next catalyst, right? So very important. But the first support level is 1050. We'll need to watch how this reacts between 1050 and the next support and see if the bulls are trying to reappear. The 50-day moving average is 1102. If that gets broken through, you're back into bullish territory, and the highest point reached, which was touched twice in the day, is 1351. Needs to be broken through by the bulls, and I want to emphasize, the bulls need to break through 1351, turn it into a support to work their way up to newer highs, new resistance levels, and reach newer positions in bullish territory, pulling further away from the 50-day moving average, deeper into bullish territory. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Stay tuned till the end because I have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss, and you definitely want to add it to your watch list. So for everyone that has stayed to this point in the video, the ticker symbol I'm about to share with you guys is one that we've talked about in the last coming weeks, and it's already getting closer to analysis ratings price target on the low end. It still has room for the higher end part of it, but let's talk more about it. It's Zynga Inc. ZNGA. Let's go ahead and pull it up. ZNGA. And here we are. Zynga had a consolidation. I was paying close attention to it. We wanted to see if it pulled back a little bit and meet back to these numbers, or was it the point where it was going to take off from there? Well, as soon as we talked about it, I went ahead, reiterated it here at $10, and then we took off to 11 and some change, and then it fell back down to $9. Now, I talked about it here one more time to let every single investor know that this might be an opportunity, or you know what, break even and get out. But the opportunity in Zynga is that this is a long-term potential play, right? I'm not here to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold any positions on any of these stocks, but this sector overall is growing, okay? Zynga is growing. Glue Mobile is another one that I talked about weeks ago, and also Skills, right? Which we're going to look at Glue Mobile in just a second. It was the first one that was on here. But I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that the ticker symbol for today that you want to add to your watch list, if you're coming across this for the first time, or you overlooked it, or you kind of were putting it aside, this is the one you want to definitely have on your watch list moving forward. But right now, what I want to talk about is on the high-end spectrum of analysis ratings, this one was rated up to $14 in the next 6 months to a year. Now, the low end was 11. We're currently sitting close to $12. So there's a little bit of volatility here. I'd watch this to see if it consolidates like we saw here, obviously with the ups and downs, but some sideways movement holding itself up above $11. But if it breaks below $11, I highly suggest doing research and seeing what's pulling it back. And if it's nothing like serious that's going to compromise the structure of this business, I mean, that could be an opportunity, because anything below $11 is the low end spectrum of analysis ratings, and anything above that is getting closer to the high end, which is 14. Anything above 14, I definitely go ahead and step back and just watch the chart, because there hasn't been any upgrades or reiterations of any analysis ratings on this one yet. But we're sitting right now at $12. I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to make more investors aware of it. Now, back to Glue Mobile. Now, Glue Mobile, there was a lot of speculation and hype on the fact that there was an opportunity for this to merge with Tencent, so forth. And if it doesn't, the structure of this company and the potential is there, and especially their market cap, on how small they are and how much room they have to grow and take some of the market share in the sector of mobile gaming, right? So we talked about it back around the middle of January, almost the end of it. We talked about it when it was like at $9, almost $8. And I said, we need to watch this, look for consolidation, and look for an opportunity, because it has ran up from these lows of $6 the last coming months. And leading into this month, it kind of spiked up and it was pulling backwards. And here we are. After everything, and earnings was beat by a slight bit, it made a big difference in this stock. It went from $9 and some change all the way up to highs of $13.50, and here we are at $12.58. So one of the biggest things I would tell every single investor is watch this carefully as it continues to consolidate, or if it pulls back a tad bit, maybe down to the $11 mark or somewhere around there, and see if it consolidates there at a newer high. It will look pretty healthy, because then this could consolidate towards the next catalyst and the next run. But Glue Mobile has a lot of potential. I mean, the chart is showing it, and I highly suggest doing more research on these, because the mobile gaming sector is exploding like more than ever. And Skills is another one, and betting is getting incorporated into these games, which is making things a little bit more intense, of going from just an arcade experience to getting more competitive, and also bringing the casino to your phone. And that's another thing that these mobile gaming companies and devices are going to be able to implement into people's lives, and it's taking away some of the market share from these casinos and these different extracurricular activities that people would go do. And a lot of people are doing it now from the comfort of their home, in their car, on the way somewhere, while they're walking. I mean, just think about it. You don't have to go out of your comfort zone anymore to go play these games, and you can win or you can lose in those games on your phone. So it's really impressive and interesting, and the betting is going to be a big thing that people like. It gets competitive, and you can play different types of games like pool, bowling, tennis, table tennis, all that stuff, and it's getting incorporated into these games. I mean, definitely do some research. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not here to tell you guys buy, sell, or hold any position on these stocks. I'm just here to enlighten everyone on opportunities that the market is showing based off of revenue, based off of the market cap, the value of the company, and articles and analysis ratings that I find. You guys have to do your due diligence and research to find and dig a little deeper to then make your own rational decisions. But we're all here to learn and grow together. I hope that you guys are learning from these and finding them helpful and useful. And let's make some money.